Your Honour, there are multiple dynamics that led the mother to make a police statement at the police station and filing an ADVO against myself. What was it that motivated her to perform such an act based on lies and deceit? The answer to this is the act of gain, to increase her lead and obtain an advantage, knowing full well that I would lawfully resist her taking my children away from me. Another dynamic is to conceal the facts and the suppression of information, facts regarding the true nature of the risks that my children have been put through by their mother. Sunday the 24th of March, the mother was continuing her Machiavellian plan of trying to instigate a violent reaction from me by abusing me. Her plan was to have me physically retaliate so that she could use such an event against myself and flee with my children, and have the police, courts, family and friends sympathise with her. This was due to the fact that I had been telling her that my children and I were sick of her never-ending abuse. However, I did not assault her.
Tony, I'm tired because of that. I'm tired.
Tony, you drive me crazy.
Hey, man.
I'm sick of doing it.
Look, my eyes are red.
I'm sorry.
My eyes are red. Because of her.
Because I didn't get away with it.
The mother's method was instigation, provocation, and manipulation. On Sunday morning, the 24th of March, the mother began her abuse by trying to instigate a violent reaction from myself by starting an argument over around $7, knowing that it would really hurt me emotionally. Now, I became upset and said to her that she doesn't appreciate neither the big things nor the small things that I do for her. She wanted to know what I was referring to, so I started with the small things, like how I just went down to the service station for her and how I was just about to get the pram out of her car. She responded with, quote, "You call yourself a man, you can't even get a pram out of the car," unquote. Now this quote is extracted from her police statement. Whenever I'm with the mother on an outing with the children, I will always get the pram out of the car. But now she was reducing my manhood to an act of getting the pram out of her car, so I chose not to get the pram out of her car. The action of getting a pram out of a car is not the yardstick to be used in measuring the manhood of a male. I was offended. This was sexist, ambient abuse by the mother directed at myself. Even though it was a provocatory attempt by the mother to receive some type of verbal abuse, I did not spit at her. The words, "You call yourself a man, you can't even get a pram out of the car," were nothing but the initiating catalyst of what was to follow later on that day. This being abuse directed at myself in verbal, psychological, emotional and physical means. It was only around $7 in change, and the local markets are only a 1-minute drive away from the service station. I hadn't remembered to give the mother her change yet, and she was very rude in the way she asked for her change. There I was, getting out of the car and walking into a service station for her, doing the mother a favour to make her life just that little bit easier, and then come back to her only to then be insulted a few minutes later. How can somebody expect another person to be chivalrous after they insult that person? One must ask the question, why would she even utter the words, "You call yourself a man, you can't even get a pram out of the car," after I had just done her a favour a few minutes prior? If it was that much of a big deal for her, why couldn't she get it out of the car herself without insulting me? If she truly was afraid of me, as she claims, then she wouldn't say such a thing. Your Honour, if the mother feared me and was afraid of me, why wouldn't she have a cigarette by herself outside my parents' house at 3:16 p.m. on Sunday the 24th of March? She falsely claims that I had assaulted her by spitting at her at the markets at 10 a.m. and then alleges that I had assaulted her at my house just after my children had been to bed for their midday nap, and then a third time assaulting her at 2 p.m. outside my parents' house. All false allegations, where there were witnesses who saw that I did not assault the mother.
While you're arguing, you've said, "I'm leaving." You got up and walked out of the parents' house. Followed you with the kids to about half a metre away from the road out the front.
True.
She said to you, "You're slack, the kids want to see their cousins."
She did say that.
You said, "I don't care."
I did say that.
You've reached out with your right hand and hit her across the top of the face, which caused her sunglasses to fall. What can you tell me about that?
No, it's not true.
Not true. Following this allegation, has started crying and saying, "Daddy, don't hit Mom."
That's not true.
Not true. After said this, you've grabbed onto the front of her shirt and her left arm and pushed her, which caused her to fall onto the road.
Come on, man. Does she say these things?
Mate, obviously,
sorry.
There's two sides of the story. We've
Yeah,
got
yeah,
your
yeah,
side, and now we're
yeah.
going over the side that was provided to us.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
I'm just freaking out, man. No.
So it didn't happen?
Why would she message me via SMS text to come and have a cigarette with her in isolation? Wouldn't she want to be away from me? Wouldn't she be happy that I'm not near her? According to her, in her statement to the police, I had just physically, violently assaulted her 3 times, the last time being only 1 hour and 16 minutes prior. 3 alleged assaults within 5 hours, while 2 of these alleged assaults were in public. The probability for a person that is 37 years of age and has never been charged in their life to assault another person 3 times within 5 hours, whilst 2 of these times are in public, as the mother claims, is implausible. The mother latched onto my ankle from 6:30 p.m. on Sunday the 24th of March for over an hour and 15 minutes. The mother would like you to believe that she grabbed my ankles at 10 p.m. In her statement to the police, she has totally skipped over 3 hours in order that she can seal very intense and important information for her benefit and to conceal important facts. What was recorded on my phone is only the last part of her erratic behaviour. The recording is timestamped as being recorded at around 7:30 p.m, as the police will show you. But the mother was still latched onto my ankle. She was using physical force against my will so that I do not leave the house.
Let go of my leg. Let go of my leg. Let go of my leg. Yeah. Let go of my leg. Let go of my leg. Let go of my leg. No, let go of my leg. Let go. Let go. Let go of my leg. Let go of my leg. Let go of my leg. My kids are all around me. She won't let me go. Let go of my leg.
After around 1 hour of grabbing onto my leg and ankle area, I said to her on multiple occasions that I am no longer leaving anymore and that she should let go of my ankle, but she refused to let go of my ankle. Again, I asked her multiple times to let go of my ankle and clearly explained that I'm going to give the children a shower and that I wanted to walk up the staircase, and if she didn't let me go, she would cause injury to herself. However, she refused to let my ankle go. I began to walk the staircase and I struggled. It was very difficult having her weight dragged behind me, and also because my children were witnessing her abuse me. I was walking forward, she was behind me, grabbing onto my ankle, causing herself to slide onto the staircase and on every step. This specific heavy wave of battering abuse had been going on for months, as I have explained to my psychologist and is explained in a psychological report. I only wanted to leave the house for around an hour or 2 to have a break from her abuse. She just wouldn't let me leave. Why would somebody that is so afraid of another person not allow that person to leave the house? Surely they would feel more comfortable if that person had left.
No!
What? He needs 2.
No!
What?
No!
What?
No, leave!
What?
No!
He needs a nappy.
No!
He doesn't need a nappy.
No!
My children needed to be catered for. My son needed an urgent nappy change, but the mother was screaming, her legs flying everywhere. her head frantically twisting and shaking, causing herself to hit the metal rail up the staircase multiple times, not caring about injuries she was sustaining to her body, including her arms, her legs and head. All of this while grabbing onto my ankle using all her strength. All the while I was begging her to let go of my ankle. Up to this point, I had asked her to let go of my ankle and also my leg around 200, possibly 300 times from the moment that she had begun grabbing onto my leg. Within the first 2 minutes of the video evidence, which is best evidence, I asked her over 34 times to let go of my leg. Within the first 16 minutes of the video recorded best evidence, I have asked the mother over 61 times to either go away, get lost, or let go of my leg. She would like you to believe that I'm chasing her or following her, when in actual reality, I am trying to avoid her. Even though she was sulking, she looked extremely intimidating, not only to myself, but also to my children. After she had bitten my leg, I became verbally abusive to her. I was now upstairs wanting to get the children's clothes from their bedroom to prepare them for a shower, when I realised an opportunity to reach for my phone and started video recording what was occurring. The mother thought that I was recording the event, or audio recording the event, but this was the very first time that I had used a video recording of such an event. She knows very well that I have recorded her in the past.
Put it down.
No, I'm recording you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
On the phone.
No, I'm recording you. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. I'm holding it. Leave it. You're hurting me. Leave it.
So she had to sharpen her verbal tactics. Because she thought that I was audio recording the event, she yelled out, quote, "Get off me," unquote.
Let go of my leg.
Whilst I was standing for over 17 seconds into the video recording, so that any potential listener could be deceived into thinking that I was abusing her, but thankfully I was video recording. This is when she began to kick me and then bite me as well. She bit me with all her might. This bite is on my right leg and has caused a permanent scar, around half the size of a 5-cent coin.
On that video that I gave you, did you see how she bites me? Did you actually stop it?
We can't. On the phone, we can't.
Your phone is very difficult. When you put in a computer, you can stop it on that time frame.
Is there any reason why you've never reported anything like this to police? You're saying that she scratched you, she's beaten you, she's always abusive towards you. Have you ever reported any of this to police?
I have spoken to police.
Yeah.
I've spoken to counsellors.
Have you ever been charged by police for
No.
anything to do with assaulting?
No, but I've had police at my house, and the last time police came to my house, I was actually appalled.
This bite was an attempt to get myself to drop my phone so that she could stop the recording and the reality of what was going on. The ramifications of myself filming the mother would be devastating to her. She would not allow the truth to show that her claims are nothing but a fraudulent claim. The mother alleges in her statement to the police in the ADVO on page 8, first paragraph, that I was standing inside the doorway between the garage and the lounge room. Now this makes her just outside the doorway between the garage and the lounge room. She then claims that she dropped to her knees, looked up, and I punched her with closed fist using my right hand. Your Honour, there is an extreme weakness in regards to the allegation of me using my right fist to punch her right side of the face. In order for someone to strike another on the right side of the face, they would need to use the left hand. Her claim is a near impossibility, improbable. Too many equations would have to be right to achieve such a result, especially when there is a door frame between two people and a significant difference in ground floor levels, and when one person is standing on the higher level and the other person is on their knees, as the mother alleges, on the lower level. The injuries that the mother had on her face were caused by my left foot, not right foot nor my right hand, and purely out of self-defense. I did not use excessive force. I just wanted her to stop biting me. It was causing excruciating pain. but I was acting in front of my children as though it didn't hurt me and I needed to keep my mobile phone steady. In that particular moment, she was grabbing onto my right leg with her arms. I was filming the event with my left hand and grabbing onto my daughter's bed with my right hand. The mother would like you to falsely think that we started arguing at 10 p.m. and that we saw my daughter downstairs and then she took my daughter back upstairs to her bedroom, making it sound in the AD video that the mother is a responsible mother and that I, the father, am careless, but my daughter couldn't go downstairs in the first place because we have 2 child-proof safety rails, one at the top of the staircase to prevent the children from going down and causing themselves injury, and one at the bottom of the staircase to prevent the children from going up for the same reason. My daughter was well asleep at 10 p.m. Just about when I was going to start giving the children a shower, the mother fell down the stairs by her own accord. When I went to see what had happened to her, I witnessed her with her hands squeezing tight around her neck as if she was choking herself, trying to kill herself, causing herself injury, and I said to her, quote, "Why are you choking yourself?" unquote.
What are you doing, Mr. Standing like this? What's this? What's that mean? What the fuck happened to you? What's wrong? What's wrong? Why are you choking yourself? Why are you choking yourself? What's wrong with you? What happened? You fell? How did you fall?
I also clearly described this to local police during the electronically recorded interview. During the interview, I gave Constable Y and Constable X a meticulous description on how the mother was laying down on the staircase, inclusive of detail regarding how she started to shake, where her head was in relation to the steps of the staircase, and how she was choking herself. At this point, she asked me to help her get up. I then tried to help her get up by grabbing her around her bicep and armpit area, but I found herself causing herself to become heavy, actually resisting my help to get up. This is why I said to her in the best evidence, quote, "I'm trying to help you, but you're making yourself heavy," unquote.
Then get up. Come on. What do you mean, please help me? Get up, I tried to help you, you make yourself heavy. Your son's got poo all over his bum now, he's sitting on our bed.
This is also the reason why she had some bruising around her bicep and armpit area, which Constable Z took photographs of, which are presented in this case. She was choking herself. It is very easy to just throw this off as she was choking herself. But one must beg to ask the question, why was she choking herself? Better yet, what was the mother trying to gain by choking herself? The mother was acting out a script that she would wish to have had occurred. Realizing that I would not injure her and that she wasn't satisfied with the injuries that were caused by myself out of self-defense, she decided to throw herself down the top part of the staircase and began to choke herself. Had she caused herself visible injury to her neck, she would have struck gold. Your Honour, it is beyond any doubt that some form of choking was going on, as I explained this to Constable X and Constable Y while I was being interviewed.
Gone to walk back down the stairs. Now, as she's walking down the steps, you've grabbed her by the back of her hair and pulled her backwards, causing her to fall to the ground. What can you tell me about that?
That's a lie. I know what happened there.
And because I had recorded her in the act of choking herself. Something like choking is not very easy to forget. Whether a person is being choked or a person witnessing another being choked. Why did the mother leave this out of her story? Why did she not disclose this information? She didn't disclose the fact that she was choking herself, and neither did she disclose a false allegation of me choking herself either. Had I attempted to choke her, she would have added that into the false allegations, but she didn't. Choking is something that nobody on the face of the earth would forget had it been done against them. But because of the fact that she did it to herself and caused no visible injury to her neck, she did not disclose this fact. She probably even forgot. She had a lot of work to be done in the next few days before making a statement to the police. With all the running around, plotting and planning, she must have just forgotten. Was the mother trying to get me falsely charged with attempted murder? At the time that this occurred, I just thought that the mother was having a fit of some sort, as I had explained this to local police during the recorded interview.
When you say you grabbed her, where did you grab her?
Probably from around here.
Yeah.
Just so she doesn't go down furthermore.
How did she get in this position where she sit down, lie down?
She was standing. She'll do those, man.
Okay.
She's done that. She told me that she has these fits every now and then. Like, what fits? Are you epileptic? No. What are you? What's wrong? I don't know.
Okay. Well, following...
However, what the trail of false allegations points to is only one thing, and that is the mother was trying to get myself, the father, falsely charged by any means necessary. In her mind, the end justified the means. Attempted murder would have been the perfect charge in the mother's eyes. She was trying to frame me. Unfortunately for the mother, she realized that there was no bruising. Therefore, she could not add it to the story. It would sound too far-fetched. She had to settle for other false allegations of assault occasioning actual bodily harm because she had some visible injury, which, with a believable false story connected to those injuries, would sound plausible. Why didn't she want me to get medical help such as an ambulance, even though I had asked her in such a lame way about calling an ambulance?
I'll call an ambulance? Yeah? I'll call an ambulance? I'll call an ambulance.
Had she told the truth to paramedics in front of me, it would have been detrimental to her plan. Her bruises resulting from self-sustained injuries would no longer be the fruit that she would require to secure her chances of getting me framed. That false fruit would have to be thrown away and discarded. Yes, the mother did fall down the stairs. This is an undisputed fact, but she used this fact in a distorted version to the police because her version was a highly plausible scenario that would work to her favour, yet mixed with lies and far from the truth. I was well away from the mother before she fell down the stairs, around 6 to 7 meters away. I actually came to help and assist her. Little did I know that the mother was setting me up for the ultimate betrayal of framing me, which later on became a false story of, quote, the accused has grabbed the victim by the back of the hair and pulled her hair backwards, which has caused her to fall, unquote, as quoted from her statement to the police. In reality, the mother caused herself to yell, then fall down the stairs. Then she started to choke herself with her own hands. Regarding this night, the 24th of etc., I would like to kindly ask you, Your Honour, to bear less weight on the foul language that I had used when communicating with the mother. I was going through a very rough time, financially, emotionally and physically abused in every way that you can think of. You will find in a psychological report that in the last few months, with the mother, I have had scissors drawn to my neck, been assaulted on multiple occasions, been bitten multiple times, and witnessed my children get abused and nearly killed by the mother. As I have also stated to my counsellor in the psychological report, you will find that I have given to the court, I have witnessed the mother cut her own wrists in front of my own children, causing blood to go all over the lounge room, kitchen and dining area. 1 hour later, she then tried to kill my children via over medication. I had also just been restrained by my leg by the mother for over an hour. I had just been bitten, punched and kicked all in plain view of my children. I was in a state of trauma, witnessing the mother frantically screaming, witnessing my children crying and screaming, causing me anxiety, pain and not to think properly. I had to juggle everything all at once, pleading for the mother to let go of my leg, knowing that my son needed an urgent nappy change and my children's bedtime had approached. On the very next day, Monday the 25th of March, the mother makes an allegation in her report to the police regarding 3 a.m. The mother alleges that I had pulled the covers off and kicked her in the legs at least 5 times. She then takes photographs of her injuries. Why doesn't she tell the police in her statement that she realised after letting go of my ankle while I was in my children's bedroom that she had severely hurt her legs? This was caused before she threw herself down the staircase. This is clearly evident in the 2nd minute of exhibit, etc., the best evidence, when she says, quote, my leg, unquote. And I respond back to her, quote, why? Because you're on the ground all the way from downstairs to upstairs, that's why, unquote.
Yeah. Thank you for letting go of my leg. Alhamdulillah, man. Far out. Why? Why are your legs shaking? Why, mommy? Why? Because you're on the ground all the way from downstairs to upstairs, you know the hell? That's why. Alright, you know what? The kids don't need to see this. Alright. Alright, oh no, they can't see that. They can't see it, eh? Wait. That's okay, Daddy. It's alright. Oh, you still shaking? Yeah. You still got that crap? Yeah. No worries. Let go of my leg. Let go of my leg. You just hold the door. You're too used to holding. Get off me!
These words were uttered exactly and right after she had let go of my ankle. The mother did have injuries to her leg or legs, but they were not caused as a result of me kicking her because I did not kick her. She has fresh claims in her family court affidavit stating under oath that, quote, I was holding the father by the ankles pleading him to stop. The father kicked me in the ribs, unquote. The only thing that the mother was pleading to me was for me not to leave, as clearly is evident in the best evidence. The injuries to her legs were caused by her not letting go of my ankle while I was walking up the staircase and she was causing herself to be dragged behind me. If I did kick her 5 times, as she claims, surely she would have some proof or evidence that she would have supplied to the police. But she didn't take any photographs of injuries to her legs, nor did she take photographs of injuries to her ribs, because there was no injuries caused by me. When a human being uses a kick, the injuries caused will have bruising that will show on the outer epidermis layer of the skin. This is due to the nature of one's foot, or even closed fist for that matter, being a small object propelled forward at a certain velocity, hitting a small surface area on a target's body. But when someone sustains injuries from a staircase, it is quite different. I did not kick her, surely. If someone was to kick a person 5 times in their leg, they would have at least 1 bruise, if not multiple bruising. Her allegation of me kicking her in the legs 5 times is implausible. There is no doubt in my mind that the mother was feeling pain in her legs, but due to the fact that the staircase has a thick layer of carpet over it, no bruising was to be found on the mother's leg or legs. If a kick out of self-defense caused at least a split lip to the mother's face, And what would at least 5 deliberate kicks do to the mother's legs? It is just an incredible false allegation that was and is being used to portray me as a monster. I do not blame Constable Z for his actions while on duty regarding the false allegations that the mother has made against me. I am sure that he is a diligent, honest police officer with honourable intentions. He saw a female that had injury, he empathised with her and tried his best to help her. But what he didn't know is that he was being manipulated and lied to by someone extremely crafty. Good men are chivalrous and assertive when it comes to helping women, but being chivalrous without knowing all the facts can be a weakness. The photographs that Constable Z personally took of injuries caused to the mother's face were caused by a totally natural reaction of self-defense by myself push-kicking her on the face with reasonable force to cause her to stop biting my right leg while she was in the process of biting my leg. This kick was with my left leg. This is also why the mother does not mention in her statement to the police that she was grabbing my ankle upstairs in my children's bedroom. She does not want you to know that both my children were awake and that they witnessed everything, including when she bit and kicked me. She completely excluded this from the story that she gave to the police. She was hiding the fact that both my children witnessed her abuse me. There are also other weaknesses in the prosecution case regarding images that were obtained by the police officer she saw, Constable Z. One weakness involves the obtaining of images regarding certain injuries or bruises. 5 images were obtained, but only 3 images are supplied as evidence. While I was in the local police station being interviewed and electronically recorded, I signed for 5 photos. I signed for 5 photographs on the basis that I agreed to have been shown these photos. The image of the injury behind her ear is missing, and so is another photograph. Why are there 2 photographs missing? How were the 2 photographs that are missing obtained by police? By Bluetooth? One of these photos is an image of an injury behind the mother's right ear. Why didn't Constable Z take photos himself of these injuries? Why did he have to obtain them from the mother? Bluetooth images are only timestamped from the moment that they are received on the receiving device. Were the injuries even there? Obtaining images without checking the timestamp can cause bias and unfair judgment. Did the real time of the images taken by the mother fit her story? Or were they the outcome of another event caused by her erratic behaviour? There is a critical piece of information right under our nose in plain sight regarding the early morning of Monday the 25th of March that most would have missed. You see, the mother wants you to think that I got up on Sunday morning, went to the markets, then to my parents, then back home, then had a big fight with her, went to bed at 2 a.m. and left to work at 3 a.m. So she wants you to falsely believe that I slept for 1 hour before I went to work. This is an extreme weakness that nobody has addressed. Another improbable event. Formwork carpentry is a very labour-intense job. 1 hour's sleep would just not cut it. As a formworker myself, I can honestly tell you that it is nearly impossible and would be a stupid idea because you would be putting not only yourself but others at the risk of harm. Why didn't the mother mention anything regarding spending time with me on Monday the 25th of March after I had finished work? In the ADVO, she has made it out like she had never saw me at all after I had left to go to work that morning when we did spend time together. I even asked her if she wanted me to call an ambulance or take her to the hospital again.
Baby,
What is hurting on its own?
it just keeps getting painful, like it gets...
I'll call an ambulance.
tickles.
You want me to take you to hospital?
No,
Why not?
because...
Why because?
Oh,
Maybe your hand's broken.
I don't want to go.
You don't want to go?
No.
If you need treatment, you've got to go. I'm sick of this shit, mate. This day, the 25th of March, I believed that the mother was in some pain. I tried to help her. I firstly got her an ice pack and then went back to the kitchen to get her Nurofen Plus to help her with her pain. What shocked me about this incident is that after I had picked up the children from daycare, the mother refused again to be admitted to hospital. What she did, however, was ask me to make a sling out of a shirt, which I did. But she still refused to be taken to hospital or even our family GP. She needed to plant false evidence. Why wouldn't the mother, for the second day in a row, allow me to take her to the hospital for 2 separate events? She had injuries. She needed to falsely plant them as evidence against myself, especially now that I had told her the night before, during the grabbing of the ankle incident while I was giving my children a shower, that I wanted to take the children with me away from her abuse. She knew that the children and I were fed up.
No.
Take over.
I don't want to take
Take
over.
over.
You
Take over.
don't leave me.
No, I ain't leaving you without them. When I leave you, I'm taking them.
No, you're not.
So just show them I'm not going
No.
nowhere. Then
You're
show
not
them.
taking my babies. You're not taking
Then
my
show them. Then show them.
She won't allow me to help her and take her to the hospital to get treatment, but she will go to the local GP the very next day whilst I was at work, as is reported in the statement to the police on Tuesday the 26th, so that the doctor can log it into her medical report, which will show a false history of injury that she can falsely accuse me of. This was an opportunity that she could not afford to lose. It was perfect, ripe for the taking, and anyone would believe her false story. The mother approached the police on the 27th of March because she was afraid that I would leave her and take the children with me. Including the 24th of March, she waited 4 days before making these false allegations at the police station. Your Honour, the mother's motive was, and is simply put, she could not afford the image of failure. She knew that I had become fed up with all her abuse towards the children and myself. The mother realised that she had failed as a partner because of this. She also knew that she had failed as a mother because she would not stop abusing and neglecting my children. But she didn't want anyone to know the truth about her real failures. The fear of losing her children by me taking them away from her so that I can make my children safe was just unbearable to the mother. It would show that she had faults and that she had failed. The mother was having none of that. The mother had made her mind up. She was going to frame me. She finally realized that I was no longer going to put up with her abuse, and more importantly, that I had made up my mind and was about to implement actions to make my children safe and away from any risk of child abuse perpetrated by the mother. Your Honour, I am not the monster that the mother makes me out to be. I have never been charged in my entire life for anything. I am a free thinker, a carpenter, I am a poet, a songwriter. I study psychology. In February, I completed my first certificate in human behaviour and cultural studies. I am a loving and caring father. I am currently attending parenting seminars at etc. facilitated by Families New South Wales. I have held multiple youth workshops through etc. and other government funded projects designed to support troubled youth better their ways of life. The mother used my empathic qualities to control me, and she did for a very long time. She painted a false picture of myself as an extremely cruel woman basher and evil father to stereotype me and put me in a box before any investigation had been made, thereby discrediting anything that I would say. In a matter of 4 days, the mother claims she was assaulted multiple times, yet she still had the capacity within 3 days, the 25th, the 26th and the 27th of March to take my children, take all the belongings in the house, relocate to suburb B, book a caravan, then drive back to where I live and have her injuries treated, and then go back to the police station in suburb B to make her statement over there. Very careful and articulate planning, instigation, provocation and manipulation. Is it not a wrongful act to accomplish a legal purpose through illegal action to undermine the legal and human rights of a father? She was hitting many birds with one stone, and that stone being a story made up of false allegations that would crumble with evidence. If the mother was so afraid of me, why didn't she go to the police on Monday whilst I was at work for over 8 hours? Why not go to the police on Tuesday while I was at work? Why not see suburb A local police who are not even a 5-minute drive away, whilst knowing that I was going to be away from the house for over 8 hours? Why not simply call OOO? No, the mother decided to make a complete relocation to suburb B first, which is around 1 hour's drive away, and then informed the police about her injuries and false allegations against me. If the mother was so afraid of the possibility that I might possibly assault my own children, why leave them at daycare on Monday the 25th and Tuesday the 26th of March? The mother is very aware of the fact that I can see my children at daycare whenever I would like. I could even take them from daycare whenever I would want. Wouldn't that pose a risk to the possibilities that she is trying to suggest? Manipulating me into thinking that my children are going to have a great time celebrating with the theme of Easter. She had planned to take them the very day that they were celebrating. My children were left at daycare because she was trying to give me the impression that everything was normal, but it was all an illusion. She knew there was no sense of urgency. The only urgency that evolved from these events was when she was actually leaving after taking all the items that I had purchased from my house, leaving my house as an empty shell. Your Honour, all of the mother's injuries that are presented in the police summary brief of evidence occurred within a time frame of around 10 minutes. The mother broke up one event into multiple false allegations so that she could get me charged with multiple counts. 1 minute into the best evidence recording, the injuries to her face, as you can see, were caused as she was biting me, causing me to react and defend myself with my left foot. As soon as she let go of my ankle, which was around 1 minute after she had bitten me, the mother starts crying from pain to her leg. 9 minutes later, the injuries to her arm and armpit area were caused after she had fallen down the stairs and I was trying to help her get up, which is why I said to her, "I'm trying to help you get up, but you're making yourself heavy." It is not probable or even possible for a person to sustain multiple injuries at one condensed given time and then sustain the exact same injuries a short time later in a broken sequence of events separated by time. The mother is extremely smart. She's that smart that it should not come as a surprise to know that she changed her mobile phone number around the 15th of March. That's right, the mother had changed her mobile phone number 9 days before the actual day of the false allegations and 13 days before making the false allegations to police. Nobody from my family had her new number, and if I gave somebody from my family her new number to call her for information regarding the welfare of my children, then she would falsely charge me for conduct that intimidates the protected person under the mandatory orders of the ADVO. The mother's plotting did not stop there. the mother realised on the second mention date of this ADVO matter that I had not been charged and I was to contest the interim apprehended domestic violence order. She filed an initiating application attached to an affidavit for family law, afraid I might get my children. Her plan needed to be hardened. So she added multiple false allegations to the exact same events that occurred on the 24th of March. But this time, the mother states that on the 24th of March, I punched her giving her a black eye and then I slapped her giving her a busted lip. The only time in her statement to the police that she claims I punched her now had been changed to a slap. The mother clearly alleges in the ADVO that I used a closed fist to cause her a busted lip. That closed fist now became a slap in the family law affidavit, but it was neither. Her story was no longer parallel. It was no longer synchronized. She also throws in another new false allegation that when she was grabbing onto my ankles, she was pleading with me to stop kicking her in the ribs. She was becoming desperate, making up anything that would possibly draw sympathy to her and paint me as a wicked, violent beast. Her story had changed. It needed to be more dramatic and more violent. She even added in that on the very next day, on Monday the 25th of March, that I gave her another black eye. But this time, the mother changed her story and excluded the false allegation of being kicked whilst in bed, knowing that it didn't sound right. She had plenty of time to change and sharpen her false story. In the family court affidavit, she even discloses the fact that she booked a caravan whilst at her cousin's house. In her statement to the police, she only states, quote, "Shortly after this, the victim has left and gone to her cousin's house," unquote. Instigation, provocation, and manipulation. Yes, Your Honour. All of this was made under oath by the mother. Her desperation caused her to make mistakes and also to lie under oath, tweaking her own full story to whichever way suited her best. When you juxtapose her two different stories of the same event, her story becomes not only improbable but impossible, full of lies, deceit, and manipulation. One weakness in my own case is the fact that I didn't have a chance to film what was going on before the actual video recording that I have offered as best evidence. I wish I could have had cameras in my entire house, but who could live like that? However, what I had recorded was enough for the police to watch, view, and realise that there was actually another side to the whole story. Now this is a strength within itself. The recording that the police extracted was enough to give them a better point of view. Another fact that gives strength to my case is that I was totally honest to the police about all the false allegations, especially within the timing of certain sub-events that the mother had made up. For example, the mother claimed that she dropped to her knees to grab my ankles at 10 p.m, the evening of Sunday the 24th of March, when in reality, she was already grabbing onto my ankles at 7:30 p.m, as the video is timestamped and dated, which is extracted by the police. The wicked flee where no man pursueth, but the righteous stand bold as a lion. More strengths to my story can also be seen in a recorded interview when I was being cross-examined by the police. I had nothing to hide and was even refuting the times that the mother had claimed I woke up. For example, when she claimed I woke up after sleeping for 1 hour, which just does not make sense. It is actually illogical to sleep at around 2 a.m. and wake up at 3 a.m. How much time did it take for me to go to sleep? Did I even sleep at all? Did I eat breakfast? Did I put my work clothes on? I am not a robot. Nor am I a monster. I am a human being. I need rest too. Especially after a big day at the markets, barbecue at my parents' house, and all of the abuse I received that same night. And why did she state in her statement to the police that I had kicked her 5 times after waking up? This is because she would be able to get me charged with multiple counts because there was time separating events. She was throwing the book at me, throwing me under the bus. Why didn't the prosecution see this hole in the mother's story? How could they? Emotionally overwhelmed by what appeared to them as a distressed woman who did have injuries, they believed everything that she threw at them, blinding them from even the smallest yet obvious detail that proves her story to be false. One other strength was also the fact that I was able to provide additional information to the police. For example, the fact that I had seen the mother Tuesday morning. This is clearly heard in a police recorded interview and had Constable X and Constable Y from the local police station baffled for a short while, resulting in them saying words to the effect of, "Let's just move on with the allegations."
Yeah, well, that's it.
3 days
That's
ago.
pretty much it. I went to work.
No, and that's the last time you've seen.
No, I saw the morning before yesterday. The morning before yesterday. That's why I got confused, because my suitcase, even though...
Tuesday morning.
Yeah. I got up Tuesday. Do you want to know about Tuesday morning, or is that too far and forward?
All right.
The allegations.
So-
the allegations we have don't cover Tuesday morning, everything like that. So there's no, unless you feel it holds a lot of weight, or is it just?
On what happened Tuesday morning?
Yeah, well, because the allegation.
No, there's nothing there, man.
That's
She didn't get out of bed.
If one tells the truth, one need not remember. How weird would have the mother appeared if she told the police that she saw me on Tuesday. This is why she completely left that out. She was manipulating the police into thinking that she didn't see me that day. A person telling the truth about the order of events need not remember to say it immediately to the police. But the mother was not telling the truth. She hid the fact that she saw me on Tuesday in her statement to the police, but later on decided to add that to her affidavit for family court, just so that she can say that I gave her one more black eye, when in reality it was the day that she committed domestic theft. She was running two different stories that, when compared to each other, have blatant contradictions, lies and hyper-exaggerations. Even though they are supposed to be the same event, they are no longer the same story. This is a very important point that must not be overlooked, because the mother does not make any mention about the fact that I saw her on the morning of Tuesday, the 26th of March, by stating to the police in her chain of events that she left the house and went to her cousin's house on Monday. In her statement to the police, it is made to appear that she left me on Monday, the 25th of March. This is another very big hole in her story that she got wrong. What really occurred was, I woke up beside her on Tuesday, the 26th, just after 5 a.m. I had a shower, ate breakfast, watched a little bit of morning news, and left the house at 6 a.m. to go to work. I even called daycare multiple times that day whilst at work to check up on my children until I got through. They said to me that the mother had just left with my children at around 12 p.m. in the midst of Easter celebrations. The mother admits that she saw me on Tuesday in her affidavit for family law. After realizing that the mother had taken my children from daycare, I then immediately drove to daycare from work. They advised me to wait for 2 days and call her family members to see if I could locate my children, and that if I couldn't, then I should go to the police and file a missing persons report. I called her sister, but I couldn't get through. I called her friend that used to pose as a docks worker. Her friend didn't want to talk to me. I walked into the local police station on Thursday the 28th of March. I was placed in a cell. I have nothing to hide. I never have. The only thing that the mother makes a note of in her statement to the police regarding that Tuesday the 26th of March is the fact that she went and saw our local doctor for injuries. That is it. Nothing more, nothing less. This is the day that she took my children by fraud without my consent and left. The mother was so afraid of me, yet she followed me when I wanted to leave my parents' house, then made me a coffee an hour later. She then invited me to smoke cigarettes with her after I allegedly assaulted her 3 times. She was so afraid that she didn't let me leave my own house at all in the evening. She was scared out of her own wits when I wanted to get a nappy for my son, thinking that I may leave the house. She was so afraid when I was at work on Monday that she left and booked a caravan whilst with her cousin, and afraid on Tuesday when I was at work when she was cleaning out my whole house, taking everything. She was so scared that she went to her local GP before making her statement to the police. Why didn't she make a statement to the police on Monday? Does this sound like someone that is afraid? Yes, but the mother was afraid of something else. She had a different fear. She was not at peace because she was afraid that I was leaving with the children, and I was, for the children's sake. She knew this. She needed a plan. She needed to prepare. Siccum vis pacem parabellum, Latin for if you want peace, prepare for war. This fear caused her to plot and plan, and prepared she was. But her plotting did not stop with the statement made to the distant police station, which caused an interim apprehended domestic violence order to be put in place against me. The mother was keen on trying to make me breach the ADVO. She had sent me her address details in a subtle yet crafty way, not via ordinary means such as phone communication, but through electrical energy bills sent to my address. She even gave her real estate agent, etc. real estate, my personal email to harass me, furthermore trying to provoke me. Instigation, provocation, and manipulation. Someone that really has concerns of violence towards themselves or their children will make sure that their residential address is truly suppressed. The mother was acting to the police like she was afraid and didn't want me to know her address details by keeping her address details suppressed. Yet, behind the back of the police, she is deliberately giving me her address details, not even 1 month after making a statement to the police against me. Your Honour, from the short burst of sulky aggression that the mother showed at 7:30 p.m. on Sunday the 24th of March, that caused all her injuries within 11 minutes, till the moment that she walked into the distant police station on the 27th of March, the mother waited around 88 hours to make a statement to the police. I was the one afraid and showed concern for my children, while the mother was not letting go of my leg, while my children were crying, which is why when I was filming them on my mobile phone, I said, the kids are all around me. I was the one afraid for my children when the mother was crying from pain after realizing that she had caused injury to her leg from going up the staircase. I didn't want my children to see her leg. I was trying to block the view using their bedroom door. The mother was limiting me from the things that I could do to help my children not see what was going on by grabbing onto me. I was the one concerned that it was getting late and my children needed to have a shower and go to sleep. The mother was extremely afraid of only one thing, and that is me taking my children away from her to protect them from her abuse, even via totally legal application of getting my children into my custody. That's why she didn't want me to call an ambulance on 2 separate occasions on 2 consecutive days. Any medical assistance with my children and myself present would have exposed her to be a fraud. Your Honour, what the mother has done to the courts, to the police, to my children and myself is beyond manipulative and cunning. She has wasted precious court time and money and precious police time and money using a frivolous and vexatious claim. She has also willfully lied to mislead the police and to mislead the courts by attempting to pervert the course of justice. The mother actually committed a crime by taking my children by force or fraud. I have spent over a year stressing, wondering if my children are okay, if their health and well-being is good, all because of oppressive gain tactics that the mother has used. The abuse that my children suffered and continue to suffer at her expense is severe, My children miss me and they need my protection. It is extremely unfair that an application for an interim apprehended domestic violence order be put forward using the pretext of possible abuse based on false allegations of abuse. Furthermore, in the provisional apprehended domestic violence order, one can read the mother's police statement that contains nothing regarding any abuse from me towards my children. Therefore, how is it possible that a so-called victim is afraid that a person may possibly assault the children? This is illogical. Your Honour, I did not assault the mother and would never assault her. She caused injury to herself directly and indirectly. The mother actually assaulted me, biting, punching and kicking me. All her allegations regarding the fear of abuse or further abuse are a lie. The mother does not realise that perjury is a serious crime. She lied while making her statement to the police, which was to be connected to court proceedings, and kept trying to push for charges and an ADVO while knowing that 100% of everything that she claimed as assault allegations was a lie. She didn't stop there. She actually kept carrying on, exaggerating these lies, resulting in two different stories of the same event in two different court matters, all whilst under oath. It is absolutely clear that the mother's motive for an apprehended domestic violence order is and was nothing but a gain tactic. That gain being keeping myself away from my children in order that I do not take them away from her abuse, trying to get me thrown in prison so that I don't take my children away from her and make them safe. Her story is so outrageously far-fetched that in nearly every sub-event that she alleges, too many things have to be perfect to achieve such a result. One would have to throw the word logic out of the window. There are too many separate sub-events that are improbable, causing the mother's story as a whole to become impossible. Evidence of her supplying me with her address details cause her alleged arrears to become void, making her story and claims ridiculous beyond belief. I have never and will never pose a threat to my children or any other child for that matter. Your Honour, I love my children with all my heart and I miss them as they miss me. I have only protected them and will continue to do so. I am an educated man, a father that is proud to say that I've never been charged in my entire life. My only fault was my empathy, staying in a relationship where I had sympathy towards my abuser and wanted my family to work out and functioning right. This interim apprehended domestic violence order is not only unfair and oppressive towards myself, but it is also unfair and oppressive towards my children. I stand with honesty and remain in a humble stance of contesting this interim apprehended domestic violence order. I would like to kindly ask you, Your Honour, to revoke the interim apprehended domestic violence order. I would like to kindly ask you for justice. Thank you, Your Honour.